Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for day number 2 in U20 qualifying at the 2021 Junior Gold Championships from Indianapolis. My name is Aaron Smith with Bowl TV and USBC Communications, and we are halfway through qualifying. We had 2 rounds, 8 games total, and 2 different oil patterns for our U20 competitors yesterday, and they are back on the lanes at Expo Bowl and Western Bowl as well, just getting ready for round number 3, their third pattern to attack so far at the 2021 event. As we get underway here, let's bring in the Bowl TV team. Action is just getting ready to get going at both centers. We have 8 channels available on bowltv.com, both the boys and the girls divisions here in U20. But let's head over to Western Bowl. I'm going to bring in Jason Thomas first. JT, good morning.
Good morning. You guys missed a performance of the Better Side of Plus band. We were air drumming and air guitaring during the intros there. So, I hope you all having a great morning, and got some great bowling for you here on day 2 at Junior Gold.
All right. I forgot about the band name there, but yes, that is fantastic. Let's bring in our bassist then from Inside Bowling, Mike Flanagan.
Good morning, guys. The big story from yesterday that I see, low scoring, tough lane conditions. I know over on the boys' side, you got a little bit higher scores over there at Western, JT, but over here on the girls' side, scores were really low yesterday, with only three girls being plus here. So low scores, always a challenge here at Junior Gold. It's the biggest test that we see for our young competitors out there on the lanes, and we're looking forward to bringing another 8 games today for this morning and for this afternoon.
8 games will conclude qualifying, so these competitors will have 16 games in the books in 2 days before we make our first cut to the advancers round. So the players who advance from today will bowl another 5 games tomorrow morning, and then from that there'll be another cut. They'll bowl another 5 games, so 10 games coming up tomorrow as well, to determine eventually the top 16 for the double elimination match play bracket. So once you get into that, that's when it starts to get interesting. That's when you start moving from just kind of making cuts, moving on to the next round, to thinking about winning a Junior Gold Championships. So we're going to go full screen here from Western Bowl. That's where JT is at, hanging out with the boys division. The girls are over at Expo. Once again, here in the greater Indianapolis area, 80 lanes at both centers. And JT over there, at Western, we do have our leader after 8 games from the young men's division, Kai Yamada from Hawaii, here on our feature pairs to kick things off this morning.
Yeah, he had a very consistent day yesterday. Shot 893 for the first 4 games, and then came back and shot 932 for the second 4, closing with 234, 258, 247. So he's at plus 225 right now and leads the boys division. Tyrell Ingalls shot a big 1,007 yesterday on the second squad on games at 258, 289, 226, and 234. He's the second at plus 193. And then a couple of guys right around 100 over. Jace Cadell at plus 102. And Cameron Crow, who came by and wasn't very pleased with his performance yesterday, but you have a bad day and you end up 4th. You got to feel pretty good about your chances going into day number 2. One other player that there's obviously several that we've got in front of us here in game number 1, including Grant Keller, Oliver Lawson, and then over on 39 and 40, Carlo Kasama and Jared Karachiga, and then Nicholas Archaki. He actually finished second a couple of years back to Solomon Salma in the U15 division. So he's no stranger to making the finals at a junior gold event.
Folks can visit bowl.com to catch the round 1 recap, courtesy of Gene Koenig, who's writing the day-to-day press releases for us. So shout out to Gene for catching up with a few of the competitors. He talked to Kai Yamada, a 20-year-old, so this will be his final junior gold championships, I believe. And he said in previous years here at junior gold, it has not necessarily gone his way. He's never made a cut in his previous appearances. So to get off to a start like this, averaging better than 228 for his first 8 games, obviously puts him in a great position. But Kai said, he's still focused on staying in his game plan. Just wants to continue to execute as best as he can out there. He's going to try not to let the strong start get him going a little too high or a little too low. So he's just going to try and find a way to focus on the shot ahead of him and find a way to continue to be better today. So it'll be fun to see if he can continue it on these next 2 patterns that they will be facing here later today. Over on the girls' side, as Mike had mentioned, Jenna Williams of Florida and a standout at Mount Mercy University built herself quite a lead here in the girls' division. 120 pins on the rest of the field. She averaged more than 216 to take the top overall spot. Pretty consistent overall. 879 in the first block, 854 in the second to get to plus 133. Ashley Morrow, also from Florida, is in second place at plus 13, so 120 pins right there. 2019 U17 champion Caroline Beezer is third at even for her 8 games, so averaging 200 right on the nose. And Brianna Madison -3, Morgan Nunn -5, Mabel Cummins -14, Brooke Roberts -23, Caitlin Orisic -60, Jordan Munt -61, and Natalie Heltney at -70, the top 10 on the girls' side. So for Jenna, kind of a similar situation to Kai, where she had mentioned that, she's hasn't necessarily had a big performance yet at Junior Gold, but this is a great way to kick things off. And she's looking forward to hopefully continuing the trend that she's had in 2021, finding some success on the lanes. As we mentioned, on the collegiate side, she was an honorable mention All-American for the NCBCA this year as a sophomore.
Yeah, there's a lot of good points you made there, Aaron, and kind of running down the field. One of the things I like about the story of Kai is, every year we come back to Junior Gold and we see, not only, new kids, but we also see the progression of kids that have been here in the past. And, it's amazing sometimes how far some players can come along in a year's time. And you get to see that at Junior Gold. And, with this particular one, we've had 2 years since the last Junior Gold. So, there might be some bowlers that we see that just come out of the woodwork that we weren't expecting, that have made, leaps and bounds of progress in the last time we saw them here at this event. So I think that's definitely what we're seeing with Kai. He's not the same bowler he was the last time he bowled Junior Gold, for sure.
And JT, I think that's a great point to consider as well, is especially with and it's something we've seen and we've talked to a lot of the competitors on the PWBA tour, whether they were rookies looking to join the tour in 2020 or players who have had success in the past trying to move to the next level, trying to make the best of the time in between years. So for all these players, they've had 2 years to progress on their games, work on their games, as there's local and state regulations have allowed. And I know a lot of players have been putting a lot of work. We saw that in the collegiate season, as well as many of these players in the U20 division are in a collegiate programs, or they're getting that coaching, they're getting those reps continuously. So for a lot of these players, from the last time they've been here, they have made a ton of progress in their games. And it's certainly showing here across these challenging conditions. Once again, we don't know the oil patterns here, so your guess is as good as ours on pattern length, pattern volume, shape, all that good stuff. So all the competitors had a practice session. They got to practice on all 4 patterns to try and determine the best course of action to make their selections for their bowling ball equipment form to get down to their 5 bowling balls for the week. So it definitely takes shot making. It takes an ability to read ball motion, understand what your bowling balls are telling you, understand what the pattern, the topography, the lane surface is all showing you, and finding a way to be versatile and consistent over the course of these couple blocks to put yourself in a position to not only continue to advance on, but for the players who are bowling extremely strong, you got to be thinking about potentially a spot on Junior Team USA in 2022 as well.
Yeah, and just looking at the pattern and just reading the ball motion, there certainly looks like the pattern's a little bit longer than what we saw yesterday, quite a bit longer. I wouldn't call it long, but it certainly looks like there's a speed bump built in. If you try to play in the track area and you miss right, it could go in the right gutter. But you can also, I think, play up the lane from out and use that speed bump as hold. So to me, it looks like it could be similar to the pattern 4 we saw at the U.S. Open a couple months back. We all know what the pros did to that pattern. They pretty much ate it up, but contrary to the way, as easy as the pros made it look, it was not an easy pattern. And so if you don't play them the right way, it can be an extremely difficult pattern. But we don't know what the pattern is. We won't know until the end of the week, but just watching the balls go down the lane, you can certainly see you can play in the middle part of the lane. You've got to get far enough away from that speed bump to stay away from that out of bounds. Nick Archaki, who we're watching here, he's gone with that route, and he has a pretty nice start going. Gets a little break on the 2-pin, roll forward for a turkey. So he's got a pretty good ball reaction in the middle part of the lane. Not seeing nearly as much urethane today, almost none.
And that's kind of what I was thinking, JT, is you were talking about the U.S. Open patterns, and I remember, if my memory serves me right, it's been a few months now. It seems like a few years ago now, but
yeah,
I remember a lot of urethane going down the lane on that pattern. With the pros, of course, obviously the pros have a little different tack of how they do things. But with that OB over there, I'm not so sure, urethane is the answer typically when you've got a little room on the outside, and not that OB is when urethane's in play. So maybe that's why it's not as much as in play.
Yeah, I mean, the pros are so good at, carving patterns for themselves, and I think they just figured out on that pattern, if you can stay to the right and throw urethane, they just get easier as the day goes on. And once everybody kind of agrees that there's no other strategy that's going to work, then they just get easier for everybody, right?
Yeah, they can manipulate it for sure. And again, buildings, that was 2,000 miles away from here.
Yeah.
In a place where trains go underneath, shakes the floor. So a lot different situation at the National Bowling Stadium than here, so to speak.
But it certainly appears again, we saw the pattern yesterday afternoon that multiple angles were in play, and it feels like that's the case again here this morning, but obviously a much longer pattern. Oliver Lawson, we haven't mentioned him other than just his name, but watch him throw the ball here. He's pretty impressive.
Woo.
Yeah.
JT, obviously,
you're
on site here. Oliver looks like he's pretty tall.
He is a big boy. Yeah, I mean, we used to have a guy that I bowled juniors with in Northern California. His name was Scott Roy. And he looked like, like a big football player dude. And threw, 500 rev rate, just got every bit of it. Threw a black knight basically wherever we bowled, because that was the only thing that would not, that he could keep on the lane, because he had such a high rev rate. But man, when he would get it going, he was intimidating. And, certainly looks like Oliver's that kind of player. His power is just massive.
Well, folks, as we get toward the end of game number one, if you're watching us on bowltv.com, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, you have access to 4 channels from each bowling center, along with this main commentary channel that we're on right now. So 9 channels live on bowltv.com. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, we got just a couple minutes left before we will shut down the feed to those social platforms and just have the rest of the block go to bowltv.com. So this is our opportunity to let you know that you can watch wire-to-wire coverage of the 2021 Junior Gold Championships on bowltv.com. That does include not only the qualifying portions, but the advancers rounds, the match play portion, and the all-important stepladder finals at the end of the week as well. You can pick up an event ticket to watch the live coverage for $14.95. That'll cover both weeks, all divisions. We'll have a camera available each day for each division. So we'll be at 4 of the 6 centers being used for the U12 through the U12, U15, and U18. So opportunities for players to cross all the houses where we do have the cameras up. $14.95 to watch the action live throughout the course of the week. If you pick up a monthly recurring subscription, that's $9.95, so a couple bucks cheaper. And that gives you access to the whole site as well. So that's a big thing as well when looking at a monthly or an annual subscription. With the monthly recurring $9.95, not only the live coverage, but access to the archived events, so you can go back and watch your favorite athletes compete here at the Junior Gold Championships. If especially for them, if they miss the opportunity because they're bowling, they can go back, watch their performance here on the lanes, and have access to the entire site. So you can watch all the archived events from the PWBA Tour this season. You're talking about the Masters and the U.S. Open. All that's available as well. And of course, all of our on-demand content as well. So monthly for $9.95, or you can pick up an annual subscription, which will not only cover the rest of the Junior Gold Championships, give you full access to the website. But, looking ahead, we still have basically half of the PWBA Tour season to go. We got some great senior events coming up. And, thinking about it next year, well, if you get the annual, you'll already be back in July again. So we'll be ramping up once again for Junior Gold, heading to the Grand Rapids area in 2022. So $79.95 for an annual subscription. Transaction fees do apply for all three. So depending on whichever way you go. So BowlTV.com, create a login, subscribe, watch Junior Gold, and see a future for the sport unfold in front of your eyes, folks. So in addition to the great coverage you're able to watch, we also have a great Bowl TV community to chat with, to interact with throughout the course of events like this. The PWBA Tour has a great following, great fan base each and every week. So a lot of familiar faces in the chat as well. And giveaways. We do giveaways as well. So we'll actually have one coming up a little bit later today toward the end of this block. And that's one of the bonuses of being part of the Bowl TV community. Not only can you watch, not only can you enjoy, you can also win. So be sure to check that out as we wrap up game number 1 here from Western Bowl in just a few minutes.
Well, Yamada finished with 179. He actually had a really good game going, possible 230 if he could go off the 9th and 10th, and went open for 179. So it's a pretty quick turnaround there for him. Oliver Lawson showing us a little tour of the out of bounds. But with a spare, he'll shoot 218, so good start for him. Kurashige with 221 on lane 39, finishing up there. Nice game for him.
Mentioned Kai Yamada leading the way here. Bolts collegiately for Mount Mercy University. So just looked that up when we were talking about him a little bit earlier. So yeah, that's actually a pretty cool connection as well. Both leaders after day 1 representing the Mustangs on the lane. So talked to Coach Andy Dirks a little bit earlier yesterday. We actually caught him at the same breakfast place that Mike and I went to in between blocks. So the breakfast was good for everybody, it appears. So good day for the Mustangs on the lanes, leading the way here in both divisions. Pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, we talked just a short while ago about, the amount of progress you can make between Junior Gold events, and obviously this one 2 years since the last. But yeah, you can certainly make even more progress when you have a great coach like Andy Dirks, who's giving you pointers and developing you through part of his great program.
All right, looks like we have just one shot left to go here from our first channel. Once again, we are covering 16 lanes at each bowling center right now for qualifying. So a lot of great opportunities for the athletes to pass through the house. So you'll probably catch most folks at least once or twice throughout these couple of rounds. And with that, game 1 in the books here. Round number 3 of qualifying, 2021 Junior Gold Championships from Indianapolis. So with that, if you're watching on Bowl TV, we're going to take a quick break to get ready to make the transition to game number 2. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, thank you again for joining us this morning. And we do look forward to hopefully catching you in the Bowl TV chat a little bit later today and throughout the course of the event. Head on over to bowltv.com, subscribe, join the community, and as we mentioned, opportunities to win throughout the course of the week of Junior Gold, and watch and support some great youth athletes as well. So with that, we're going to take a quick break. Game 2 coming up next here at the Junior Gold Championships on Bowl TV. All right, everybody, with game 2 beginning to get underway here at Western Bowl. Let's head on over to Expo for a quick second to watch the 20 and under girls division at the Junior Gold Championships. So we'll be taking a quick refresh to get over there.
Yeah, and as we move over to Expo, I was over there watching the young athletes participate in game number 1. And the thing you're going to notice with the way they're attacking this third pattern that they've seen here at the Junior Gold Championships is they're playing much further towards the inside part of the lane. They're certainly not hooking it or covering many boards, and their angle is extremely tight. You're going to see them crossing between the 17th and the 15th board in the center of the lane. The ladies that we're seeing bowl well. And we got a couple of our top 10 bowlers that'll be on the right side of your screen. Morgan Nunn, Mabel Cummings, and I believe we also have Megan over there as well.
Megan Kohlberg. They'll be over on 57 and 58 to your right. They're just getting ready to start game 2. Over on 55 and 56 to your right, or to left, excuse me. Ashley Morrow, who finished the day day number 1 in second place overall, is getting ready to step up for her first frame. She's going to be joined by Caitlin Orasek, Amanda Fisher, and Jasmine McKeel.
Yes, you're seeing some pretty good talent here. Megan was 15th coming into today. Mabel was in 6th. And Morgan Nunn was in 5th. Talking about our competitors on the right side of your screen. Got a 3-6-10 conversion, and now a little bit tougher here. 3-6-9-10 attempt. This pair might be hooking a little bit more based off of the first 2 shots here. That's a big spare there. That's not an easy spare at all.
And once again, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and those are the type of frames that you don't want to let get away. And obviously 3, 6, 9, 10 always tricky. Finds a way. That 9 pin back there certainly keeps you honest. So that was a nice cover there by Jasmine to take care of business. But yeah, those are the frames you want to be filling. Those are great fills. Those are the things that are going to help you move along throughout the course of this tournament. Once again, we're cutting to the top 85 boys and top 40 girls after today's competition. So it's one of those things where you don't necessarily have to be, we mentioned it with the scores, only 3 of the players in the girls division averaged 200 or higher yesterday through 8 games and 2 patterns. So, finding ways to stay clean and shoot 190s, 185. Those are pretty solid games out here at the Junior Gold Championships historically. And the scoring pace isn't necessarily dictating that it's going to get too crazy to where you'll have to start shooting 220s every game. So seen some nice spare conversions there out of the gates. Always a great sight to see at Junior Gold.
Yeah, and Aaron, when I was watching Mabel and Morgan, I took a little bit of time to watch their pair. They were stringing strikes. They were. I left before I saw their final score for their first game, but they were both well into the 200s. And they move over to this pair here, and both of them sent the ball way too far to the right, and both left head pin combination spare attempts. So it just goes to show pair to pair, keeping your angles tight in front of yourself. You get that ball going to the right too much, and you're going to miss the head pin. This pattern here is much longer in length, you can tell, and you can just see the players playing right around the center of the lane, almost playing fallback.
Yeah, the more I see bowling balls go down the lane over here, and then watching what you guys are seeing over there on the girls' side, the more sharp-like I think this pattern might be.
Yeah, during game number one, walking the lanes, the 10 board was almost as the gutter. You never wanted to see the ball get right of the second arrow or the 10th board.
Yeah, and the only reason I, had thought maybe it was more U.S. Open pattern 4 2021 like was because you could see the ball if you go up the outside part of the lane, it would pick up, whereas typically on the shark pattern, there were some rare occasions where, the topography in certain bowling centers would allow you to play out, there's some famous examples of that, Norm Duke and Walter Ray winning on that pattern from out, but pretty rare that you can play out on it. But it certainly looked like there was a little bit of hook from way out. And if you can find that and it's consistent across the bowling center, you could have a good day because you're not going to have to move very much. But it does seem like, the middle part of the lane is the place to be, 15 to 17, like you said, Mike. And there is a little bit of hold. And 10 is the gutter.
Yep, exactly. And which means when you're playing those angles, the majority of our young athletes here, not huge rev rates here, so you're going to see a lot of carry issues, a lot of corner pins, just because of the angle that they have to play.
I like the way Kelly Kulik put it on the ITC television shows. She basically said 9 is good, 10 is great, 9 is good.
Yep.
And we heard Cameron Crowe say that yesterday after his block was finished. He came over and said, yeah, I didn't get 9 nearly enough today. Every time I missed, it was 7 or 5.
Just as we talk about carry issues, we see an 8 pin on the left side of our screen, below 8 pin on 54, and then we'll get 5-10 on 57.
That 8 pin, then that shook me here. It's too early in the morning for 8 pins. Mackenzie Julian is the young athlete who left that 8 pin. So Morgan will be stepping up for her third frame in just a second on 57. She gave us some excitement at the end of round number 1 yesterday, starting with 9 consecutive strikes to make her jump into the top portion of the leaderboard here in the U20 division. Finished with a 275 game to make the jump, and as I mentioned, finished the day in the top 5. We will have a score update after the block is concluded, so won't have scores from game to game, just as a housekeeping note. We'll have it at the end of each block today, and obviously, once again, we are making a cut today, so some of these competitors will be all done for the week here. Competitors moving on will be one step closer. It's making their run at Junior Gold Glory. The road to gold.
We just had the 1, 3, 6, 10 attempted, and the 1 and the 6 and the 10 and the 3 stood. That's tough to do. That's a trick shot.
Wow. Yeah. Nice shot there from Amanda. She looks pretty locked on the right lane there. 3 for 3 on
That
strikes
lane
so
looks
far.
pretty good. Yeah, that lane looks good. I've seen a lot of strikes on that lane in particular. A lot of 10 pins.
And this is another thing with, Mike, I think you made a great point, kind of looking at the rev rates and kind of where this pattern is dictating these players play. And, that's going to be, as Mabel takes care of all 10, Jasmine made a pretty good shot there, left the 10 pin. Morgan had the 10. We've seen plenty of corner pins here. And the, in addition to, having to make great shots out here, you got to have a little bit of patience too along the way, knowing that you're not necessarily going to be finding potentially a ton of string of strikes out here at Junior Gold with as demanding as the conditions usually are. So the patience to work through these these carry issues essentially. Caitlin with the 9 pin there. So these players are all over the pocket, getting all 10 to cooperate. Great shot from Megan has been the story so far, but we've seen pretty good spare shooting though from these competitors. They're keeping the pocket in play. They're filling their frames. These are good Junior Gold games that we're seeing right here. As we look at the U20 boys and girls division, once again, at the end of today, we'll be making our first cuts in the boys division. Started with 129 participants for the advances round to advance the competition tomorrow. The top 85 and all ties as well will move on to compete once again in that 5-game block starting tomorrow morning. A little bit later start time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time for that. On the girls' side, we'll go from 61 competitors down to 40, also with a 5-game block to determine the top 50 in the boys division and top 24 in the girls division, who will advance to the final advances round. Bowl 5 more games, so 26-game pinfall totals over 3 days. So that's a lot of games over the course of 3 days. So once again, a little change in the format from what these competitors have been used to at Junior Gold over previous years, having 8 games instead of 4 per day during the qualifying round. So quite a bit of bowling in the first 3 days, but 26-game pinfall totals will determine the top 16 in each division to advance to the double elimination match play bracket. Bracket matches will be 2-game total pinfall to determine who wins, moves on. And 3 players will advance to the stepladder finals, which will take place on July 9th, which will be Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll have the finals right here on bowltv.com. Megan, adds another one. She's got 4 in a row after that 5-10. Those 26-game pinfall totals will also determine the 4 players in both the boys and the girls division who will be earning spots, automatic spots, on Junior Team USA 2022. So the top 4 from the 26 games will represent the red, white, and blue in 2022. And then 2 more spots will come from the top 2 in the stepladder finals, the players who make it to the championship match. Nice shot there by Caitlin, sending everything at the 7-pin. So 6 players for the boys and 6 players for the girls this year will join Junior Team USA from Junior Gold. And if it so happens that either of the players in the championship match have already earned a spot, then we'll go back to the 26-game pinfall totals and find the next player on the list. Oh, get out of there, messenger. Get that 10 pin out of there. Okay, Lenora sec 3 in a row to set up the 10. Caitlin, part of the Louisiana Tech Women's Collegiate Bowling Program. She can get to 235 this game. Nice shot there by Mabel, a current member of Junior Team USA. She's been part of the team since 2018, so a 4-year representative.
Yeah, and one little observation I have about Mabel is when Mabel was coming up the ranks, when she was 13, 14, highly touted youth bowler, and you haven't heard much from Mabel necessarily over the last year or year and a half or so, because all the talk has been about Jillian Martin. And, everything's kind of shifted over Jillian's way. And Mabel's kind of been forgotten about a little bit, in my opinion, just in the mainstream bowling media. But she had a terrific season with Vanderbilt. And now she's out here competing again. And it's great to see her out there. And it's, when you look at the young athletes that we're going to see not only in this division, but as we go into next week and we see the future of the sport come along, these are future champions on the PWPA and PBA tours, of course. And I'm looking forward to seeing, in three years or so, Mabel compete on the PWBA tour. And I believe she will be a champion on that tour.
I think that's an interesting way to look at it there, Mike. You mentioned Mabel. She did have a great year at Vanderbilt, second team NTCA All-American for the Commodores, and in our story yesterday, Gene did talk to Mabel, just about being back after missing last year. This is one of Mabel's favorite events, the Junior Gold Championships. She's a past champion here in Indianapolis, winning the U15 division. But the thing that was kind of crazy, and you mentioned, someone who's been on, kind of on that national radar for what seems like, we've been talking about Mabel Cummins for forever.
Yes.
That she's only 19. That's still the crazy part. She's still got another year of junior gold left to go here if she wants to continue competing in this event, which it sounds like she does. But yes, she's kind of, and we've seen this trend over the course of, just kind of play out over the course of many, I guess, tiny generations and bigger generations of these players who have impressed us throughout every course of competition, kind of making all the right moves over the course of, finding success at the local youth level, the state, making their way to the national championships like Junior Gold, USA Bowling, other events like that, and then finding the success in college, which, will result in Junior Team USA, and then eventually the pinnacle being, the professional tour. And I agree 100% with you. Mabel is a player who wants to go out there and compete at that level. And we've seen her compete with the best in the world at events like the Team USA trials. And she put on one of the most ridiculous days a couple of years ago to earn one of the spots on Junior Team USA when she rolled 2 300s in the same block at one of the years. And she is a phenomenal talent. But Jillian certainly has taken over the bowling world with her performance at the Kickoff Classic Series earlier this year in Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, and my final thoughts about Mabel and her game is, She's like a hybrid between Julia Bond and Josie Barnes. And they're both PWBA champions. That's who she reminds me of.
I'd be pretty excited to be compared to those two. So
I would put you just a step below them.
yes, I would too. Multiple steps, actually.
But I do think that there are some folks with the ITRC that could give you some help increasing that rev rate a little bit. Because if you could get the 4 or the 5 to fall out,
Here we go.
I could see your average going up about 22 pins a game.
It's a hefty average right there, then.
Yeah, you're already at what, 230?
Not quite that high, but. So wrap up game number 2. Megan finishing with 203 to lead the way on 57 and 58. Let's see what else we got here. Stay here at the All right, we're moving into game number 3 here for the U20 girls division at Expo Bowl in Indianapolis 2021 Junior Gold Championships, round 3 of qualifying. Just 6 games left to go to determine who's going to be making their way to the advancers round. We got some, staying on the same pair, we got some new faces joining us here. As players move across this 80-lane center, they are using, I believe, what's called the B side of the center. We call it the high side because it's 80 lanes, but split 40 apiece. So one side 1 through 40, and then on the other side of the building, 41 through 80. So that's where these young players are at, and our lineup on 55 and 56. To your left includes Grace Williams. Rachel Kajida. Brianna Madison, who was in the top 5 after day number 1. And over on 57 and 58. We have Abby Sarmiento. Emma Van Dongen. Yeah, one player who's currently name is covered up there by one of the speakers, so let's see if we can get her in a moment. But the young lady stepping up on lane 57 right now is your tournament leader after day number 1, Jenna Williams, out of Florida. I've never seen her bowl. Pretty impressive.
Nice inside-out swing. I'm sure she was riding on cloud 9 yesterday after she completed her second game of qualifying. Probably had a really nice meal. Probably felt really good after a day of leading junior gold.
Not only leading, but leading by a lot. And once again, by 120 pins over second place after 8 games. So,
yeah, just to put it in perspective, and we talked about at the Open, 3 bowlers or plus on our girls' side of things. There's only 10 averaging over 190.
So once again, that goes back to finding a way to maintain the pocket, fill frames. And based off of the scoring pace, it's not necessarily something where you want to put yourself in needing a couple 220s, 230s down the stretch to advance to make a cut. Cover there on 58. Long Win was the 4th player joining on 57-58. To our right, Brianna Madison starting off with the front five here. 55 and 56. But first time I remember watching Jenna Williams compete was actually at the 2018 Junior Gold Championships. I was covering the U15 division at the time. And we were getting into the advances round and match play. I forget which round she ended up getting knocked out in, but just the fundamentals, the swing, the height of the swing, catches your attention a little bit, but just the fundamentals and kind of the power she's able to create was one of those things where you're just kind of watching bowling as what we do here, kind of taking things in as they're happening, and all of a sudden you see the fundamentals of a game that look at that next level. You start thinking, okay, this particular game has a professional look to it already, and this was in the U15 division. So at that point it was kind of a mental check mark. Okay, this is someone to watch out for moving forward. And we mentioned earlier, she competes for Mountain Mercy University, which has one of the top programs in the nation out of Iowa. So certainly not surprised to see her starting to find some accolades as a collegiate bowler, and now seeing it at Junior Gold as well. Brianna Madison out of Lincoln, Nebraska, -3 after 8 games in 4th place to start today. Did not strike in the 6th. Cover the spare though. We'll see what she has to offer here in frame 7. Moving right along. Step up and check out the book. 36910. Every time I go to look at to see where these players are competing at collegiately, as they continue to ascend toward the top of the standings, I mentioned Brianna Madison. She was a freshman this past year. You can guess, at Mountain Mercy University. So the Mustangs, Coach Andy Dirks, having a nice little showing here at the 2021 Junior Gold Championships.
And he's in the building, was in the building yesterday, in the building today, watching them compete, supporting them, as well as recruiting new bowlers. So Andy will be here the next couple of weeks. And, you know, there are so many great coaches across the board in the collegiate ranks. And as college bowling has thrived and grown, and I talked about it yesterday, kind of while junior gold was growing, collegiate bowling was growing equally as much. They kind of go hand in hand. So much time, effort, dedication from all of these colleges and the coaches that they brought in. And then the coaches that they bring in get better. They surround themselves with other coaches and they offer feedback back and forth with each other. That currently right now, you know, we're seeing so many great styles out on the lanes, you know, in this division, because there are a lot of collegiate players, as you're highlighting right now, Aaron. But just to kind of reiterate your point, you know, I can remember this event when you watch bowlers bowl and you see people step out of their shots or just not have fundamentally sound bowling games. But you watch almost every player bowl here, they're down until the ball is at least halfway down the lane, sticking their shots, posing their shots, just fundamentally sound the same process over and over again. And that's a testament to guys like Andy Dirk and all these folks that run these collegiate programs. It's a bright spot in bowling for sure. And that also makes the Monopoly board if you joined us yesterday.
Yeah, I too caught up with Coach Andy for a quick second yesterday after we caught him at breakfast as well, in between blocks, and said, you know, this part of the week a little more about ball repping, as we mentioned, most of these players already in the collegiate ranks. So watching his competitors compete, trying to help them out, and obviously the success here in the early going from their program is showing. But he says it's going to be a little bit different next week. There'll be a little more hopping around from center to center as part of you know, just the recruiting process. It's a continuous cycle. Junior Gold is a very big event for collegiate coaches to be able to come out, and that's a big part of the trade show coming up on July 10th. So for the U12, U15, and U18 divisions, registration along with practice is ongoing for 3 days to get everybody to all the centers that they're going to cycle through. But during the trade show, part of that experience is you know, the collegiate experience. So many of the top programs, not only you know, USBC collegiate, but all the other divisions as well, are able to come out here and you know, potentially set up a booth to talk to potential student athletes who are looking ahead to the next level, to get an idea of, you know, hey, I'm interested in, you know, we're talking so much about Mount Mercy. We'll just continue with the trend. I'm interested in Mount Mercy. They can go ahead while they're here. They have their parents with them, or, you know, guardian with them most likely. They're able to go up, you know, meet the coach, talk to the coach, find out more not only about the bowling program, but also find out what you know, what's the school offer as far as academics. You know, and obviously that's a very important part of all this in the collegiate bowling experience, is you know, setting yourself up for not only you know, if you're going to compete at the next level, whether it's the Open Championships, Women's Championships, you know, a little bit higher at the Masters, the Queens, or the professional level, but collegiate bowling obviously also offers a path for these young athletes to get an education through scholarship money. Once again, $500,000, the scholarship fund this year at the Junior Gold Championships, a tournament record, and it's it's a great opportunity to find out what the school offers. If it's something you're interested in, it's really a great experience coming up in the next couple of days for the competitors who are watching now, looking ahead to the event. Part of the trade show is this collegiate experience, getting out there. I believe it's going to be right around 60 schools represented. So very cool things leading up in the next couple of days.
It's nice to be tied into everything that's going on, Aaron, and that's one overlooked thing I think with you. I mean, you wake up and you end your day thinking about bowling every single day. Out of 365 days a year, I bet there's about 12 of them that you don't spend at least 10 hours thinking about bowling. And one day I hope to have the knowledge that you do and all the information that you do, because you are so connected.
Oh, I appreciate that, Mike.
That was a great rundown.
Thank you. It's all about the college bowling, man. Like when I look at the full spectrum of everything that we're a part of here at USBC, and there's so many great aspects of it. There's, looking from the youth. Obviously, there's the league portion, the tournament, the rules, the equipment specs, IBC youth, everything that they do, Team USA, Junior Team USA, the big events, Masters, US Open, Queens, US Women's Open, PWBA Tour. All of it is very cool to be a part of and everything. But I certainly have a soft spot for the collegiate world and enjoy the opportunities that are out there for these young athletes, because I think the cool part of this event is kind of looking back at the Jenna Williams story I told a couple of minutes ago, remembering watching her at the 2018 event, saying she's got the physical game already to potentially be good enough to be out on tour, and having those aspects and those things that catch the eye that say, wow, she throws it phenomenal, and on cue she throws a strike. So thank you, Jenna, appreciate that. But seeing those things kind of transpire, and then all of a sudden when we get to that moment, 2 or 3 years down the road or 5 years down the road, kind of being able to bring it all together and thinking of the players we've gotten to see have success here at junior gold and at the collegiate level is it's cool to watch the progression of these players. It's one of the things that's really awesome about this opportunity. And something hopefully the folks on Bowl TV enjoy as well, getting to kind of watch all aspects of the sport, not necessarily just one small faction of it.
You like to see the tree get planted and begin to bloom instead of hanging a swing on a branch that's been there for 60 years and enjoying the large blossom tree. You like to get on the ground floor. You're an early investor.
Early investor. That's quite a way to put it there.
No, it is cool. And the other thing is it's almost all positive. A lot of positive reinforcement. Let's face it, the youth and the collegiate ranks, when it comes to streaming events and things like that, the viewership isn't quite as much as you see on a professional level, right? The big strobe light is professional bowling, but this is where it all starts. And and JT can probably speak to this. I know he's been busy over at Western, but and this is dating ourselves again, us older guys. But when someone would go on tour, there was a period of time, there was an adjustment period that you just had to get comfortable with being out there and understanding what it's like to be in that environment. And junior gold again and collegiate again creates an environment in which there's not a gap when you go from here to professional bowling. And you've seen over the last, I don't know, 15 years or so, I could be off with my years, where you see a player come right out of college bowling or right out of junior gold and have success immediately on the men's or the women's tours. And this is a training ground for that. This is our minor leagues, essentially.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with the success from players who have found success at junior gold, who have even just recently. You know, you mentioned Jillian Martin earlier, but you know, on the other side, looking at the Masters and the U.S. Open this year, you know, players who have both won here at junior gold in the past couple of years, coming out to the next level. Spencer Robarge at the USBC Masters, and Anthony Nyer at
Ginger Assassin.
That's right. At the U.S. Open, both making shows. So you know, when you look at that, and I think that's such a something I've talked about a lot, and you know, just players being, these young athletes are so better equipped than, you know, looking to where you and I were at, or JT were at, and you know, all had you know, different ranges of success as youth players, but that gap to the next level was pretty big, just because, you know, the resources weren't the same back then. The patterns weren't out there, the information, the coaching, the video, just all that's developed so much. But when I think about, you know, kind of some of the numbers, and you're looking specifically on the PBA side, you know, there was the long time, and you know, I think Norm Duke's still at 18 and whatever it was, you know, still the youngest PBA Tour champion. And then I think Mike Albee was the youngest major winner. And, you know, those stats have been long time stats, and it didn't seem like they were being challenged very much. And all of a sudden you have Anthony Simonson out there, who, you know, holds the youngest as a major title winner, nearly set the youngest ever with the doubles title. You know, all of a sudden, that is a stat that is up for grabs, it seems like, every event. There's always a new young player out there who is just doing cool things out there, and trying to become the next youngest to do something awesome. And that's certainly part of the excitement here at Junior Gold, getting to know those young players, getting to see that advancement.
Yeah, Aaron, I will add, you know, to that. That was a really good point I think you made, and you talked about how there was an era where there were a lot of young players coming out. You know, when Pete Weber first came out, he was 17 and had success at an early age, and Norm Duke and Brian Boss. And, you know, if you go back and watch some of those PBA shows from the 80s, PWBA shows from the 80s, like Wendy McPherson having success, you know, in her teens. And then you get to a point where, you know, that happened up until, you know, the probably the early to mid 90s, and then the technology changed, and all of a sudden information became, you know, much more premium, and you had to have experience in order to succeed. And so there was a period on the both tours where, you know, we were starting to see less younger players have success, right? The mid 90s all the way up until the mid 2000s. And then programs like Junior Gold, better coaching, better information, and now, you know, these kids have so much information available, you know, through video and through coaching and through events like Junior Gold, that they are much more well prepared, and we're starting to see a resurgence of young players having success on the professional level. So I really do think without these events, they had to come along, or we would have seen kind of a drop off in youth participation at the professional level, or a lack of preparedness at the professional level. It's probably a better way to put it.
So we wrap up game 3 here from Expo Bowl. Jenna Williams, our tournament leader, entering the day in the girls division, putting together a nice 223. I think we're a little bit farther ahead over at Western Bowl. Essentially into game 4 already. But let's head over to Western. Checking it on the boys division. So they're in game 4.
I feel like when we do switch bowling centers, since it's kind of unique to me, we should do like the Wayne's World. And then we go right into Western. What do you guys think?
Are we dating ourselves again with that reference?
I am.
Yeah, but that's okay. we gotta educate the youth about what they need to go back and watch on Netflix.
That's a fair point.
True. I do remember my mother telling me, "Oh, let's pop in Gone with the Wind, Michael."
Oh yeah.
And I was not a fan.
Did you sit down and watch the whole thing?
I'm sure I did back in the day, but it didn't quite grab my attention. I should probably watch it again.
It's funny about that. I'll tell a quick story. I'll try to relate it to Junior Gold.
Okay, sounds good.
I've been working my way through the 100 greatest AFI list, 100 greatest movies of all time, and I'm trying to get my kids to watch some of them with me. And usually I can get one of them to join me just by guilting them into it, and they'll watch about 5 minutes and they're done. They just can't do it. And boy, I mean, Gone with the Wind, if you watch that movie and then think about what was available as in terms of entertainment programming in 1930 when it came out, it's just a towering. It's like Star Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the scene of the city burning. They'd never seen something like that in a movie. It was epic. It was crazy. It was the cutting edge of special effects. But if you just watch it now, you go, "Oh, this is just old."
Yeah.
Which is, it's sad.
I've never seen The Sopranos, so I'm working through that right now. I'm on season 2, and when I watch The Sopranos, the quality of The Sopranos is not up to par for me. I really noticed a difference. It was right before high definition became the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm really struggling with the video quality because I've been binge watching shows on Netflix, and I got the 4K package with the Netflix streaming.
Yeah.
And you watch that, and the acting can be worse, the storytelling can be worse, and the crystal clear quality just makes it better for me. And it's not supposed to be that way. I've always told people and taught people that it's the story that matters, not the quality. But I'm finding myself being a complete snob.
Yeah. Well, to go back to my original story, my kids, I introduced them to Jurassic Park, and one of them said, "This movie's old, Dad." I'm like, "It's Jurassic Park. It's not old."
Yeah, just show them Jurassic World.
And yeah, Jurassic World is terrible compared to Jurassic Park. And
I know it is.
If you want to watch a really good YouTube video about making movies and to your point, like the importance of storytelling and shot composition and things like that, there's a great YouTube video that compares the shot composition of Jurassic Park to Jurassic World, and it shows how inferior Jurassic World is to Jurassic Park. Go watch that video, please.
Okay, I will. All right, Aaron Smith, how do you get us back into bowling? What's the transition from here?
Well, first off, before you go watch this video on YouTube that JT's talking about, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, check out the Bowl TV YouTube channel as well.
That's a good one.
A follow, a like, all the good stuff. Check out what we got there, including PWBA stepladder finals from earlier.
Yeah,
this
they're
season.
all posted there. Yeah, I was just looking at the channel. Actually, I had it up in a browser. I was looking to see how many videos had over 100,000 views on the channel, and that channel's got a lot of great video content out there. So you should go check it out. There's even some instruction on there, and there's this. If you ever have any question about rules, there's this animated character over there as well. And we might even be able to get him to join us as a guest here on Bowl TV. Let me dial him up real quick, see if he's available. Hello, PBA? PBA? Are you there? Are you there, PBA?
Hello, bowling fans.
Oh, he is here.
That was impressive. Got him on call.
What is your question, Mike? I'm very busy, and it's very early in the morning.
Yeah, I wanted to know if a prehistoric animal, say a Tyrannosaurus Rex, were to show up with a bowling ball, could they bowl in competition despite not wearing bowling shoes? Would they be allowed to bowl in USBC competition as long as they stayed on this side of the foul line and understood that?
Well, Mike, I'm not aware of any rules that prevent animals from bowling. But it would be very hard for a T-Rex to bowl with two hands.
Probably a shot put type delivery. And just to throw it out there, probably a lack of rev rate. Aaron Smith may be their coach because they're probably going to leave a lot of 4.5s.
Full circle.
Well, thank you, Mike. This has been a very engaging conversation.
Thanks, PBA. If you want to find out more from PBA Atkinson, you can go over to Bowl TV's YouTube channel and be educated by the guru of bowling.
I'm just impressed you have PB Atkinson on retainer to help you so quickly.
Yeah, I had to plug into the soundboard here and everything really quick, but yeah, took care of that.
I thought that was a pretty good joke about T-Rexes not being able to bowl with two hands.
It was.
You know, because they have short little hands.
They do. It would actually be hilarious to watch them bowl. I would probably pay a premium if there was a T-Rex bowling tournament where they just all picked up the balls and they were chucking them down the lanes.
Well, I'll tell you, I made a little intro video for it. We had a Shark Tank event at Bowl Expo, and I made a little intro video for the Shark Tank. It actually didn't make the final cut. They went with a different version, but the version that I made ended with a great white shark throwing a strike, which I thought was pretty fun.
Any chance we could lead with that?
We'll get a clip of that. Yep.
To those of you in the Bull TV chat, hope you're having a wonderful day. Tony was talking about next week. There's going to be a lot more people as the other divisions roll into town. Is the trade show all weekend or just on Saturday?
It is just on Saturday, July 10th. So, and looking at the schedule, and we talked about the U20 stepladder finals taking place 1 p.m. Eastern time here on BullTV.com. And then after that, though, for the rest of the day on Friday, that's when the practice sessions start up for the U12, U15, and U18 competitors. So they'll get those going on Friday, July 9th. On Saturday, once again, there is more practice going on, but there will also be the trade show and the athlete registration. So everybody will be heading over to the Indiana State Fairgrounds for that throughout the course of their day on Saturday, depending on when their practice sessions are at. We will have 2 broadcasts from the trade show, so be on the lookout for those. I believe 10 a.m. to noon and 2 p.m. to 4 Eastern times right here on BullTV.com. So be sure to check those out. And then Sunday, the 11th, is a complete practice day for U12, U15, and U18. Before we get into competition on Monday, July 12th, then those are going to be our nice long days, folks. So anytime you turn on Bull TV, most likely there will be qualifying from junior gold going on for 4 straight days. So bowling basically from 7 a.m. until right around 11 p.m. at night outside of oil breaks. We're going to be cruising at 4 of the 6 centers being used for the Junior Gold Championships, with a total of 17 channels going during parts of the day.
17.
We'll have 4 at each center being used, and during 2 of the blocks each day, we will have the commentary channel up as well. So those will be the middle squads. So we can have conversations just like the one we're having about T-Rexes and bowling balls and two-handed approaches.
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that.
Gonna need that one more time, JT.
Yes, one more time. Very nice, JT. All that work, and it finally, we get to see it.
Somebody got to see it. I'm happy. And Jaws, by the way, the kids won't watch that either. And it's like, guys, what are you doing? You think It is a scary movie? Try Jaws.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a double feature presentation, you can go Jaws and then Attack of the Killer Tomatoes right behind it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they watched some of Jaws, and they said the shark looks fake.
I can understand that.
The shark looks fake. That's your reaction to Jaws. That's like watching Caddyshack and saying the gopher looks fake.
That's true. And you know what's funny about that is I haven't seen Caddyshack in over 20 years, and I watched it on the plane coming out here.
I think Aaron Smith
did as well.
I've seen it multiple times in the past 20 years, however, but potentially this year as well. But yes, I watched as well on the flight to Indianapolis. Good question from Ruth in the Bowl TV chat. What 4 centers will we be at on Bowl TV? Great question. We'll be once again we'll be at Expo in Western, but we will be adding Strike Force and All Star as well. So those will be the centers where the Bowl TV cameras will be up. And once again, throughout the course of competition, all competitors will have the opportunity to bowl at one of those centers in the U12, U15, and U18 divisions. So hopefully we're catching as many athletes as we can throughout the course of each day as they make their way across the various centers in Indianapolis. So hopefully everybody does get the opportunity at some point to see their favorite athletes compete. But once again, with 3,500 plus young players qualifying for junior, we hope to catch as many as we can here throughout the course of the week on Bowl TV.
Yeah, and you guys are pulling out all the stops for this event. I mean, every year it gets better with coverage, and appreciate you guys calling me in to assist. I'll be set up. Where am I at? Strike Zone or something? What's the name of the center I'm at?
Yeah, you're at Strike Force.
That's it, Strike Force. That's right. And
It's a very powerful name.
The Force will be with me for those days, and I'll be over there. So if anybody's in the area and you want to come by Strike Force and give me Nux or bring me Blue Frost Gatorades, I appreciate that very much. So I'll be over there. And then Mr. Von Kruger, Curtis Von Kruger, is going to be joining us as well. Where's he going to be camped out at?
All-Star.
All-Star, okay. So he gets to be an All-Star. I'm a Strike Force. And then where are you guys positioned at?
I'll be back here at Western.
Okay, all right. Yep, you'll be
Aaron
John Wayne in it at Western.
Correct. And
I actually have I've set up a little cot here at Expo since I'm never leaving here for these 2 weeks. So I will be at Expo. So be sure to stop by, say hello.
JT, since you're such a big Star Wars fan, if you want to take over Strike Force, I can be the Westerner. I can go to Western if you wanted to make a switch there, because I know you probably would feel more at home at Strike Force.
well,
Well, Mike, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
yeah, I usually don't make my assignments based on Star Wars, but
Yeah.
it's an interesting theory.
Strike Force. That's where I will be.
Strike Force.
How far away is that from the hotel?
62 miles.
Oh, good. All right. I'll be pulling all-nighters.
That's a very specific number.
With no hesitation either. That's what's beautiful about that. Now I know why I'm at Strike Force. Had nothing to do with the name of the place.
You'll need the Millennium Falcon to get there in the morning.
Well, I tried to book one on Priceline.
A Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, but they were out.
Yeah.
There's a big shortage because of COVID on Millennium Falcons.
Yep.
Yeah. Instead, they gave me it's a car called a Falcon.
Okay.
This thing is a gas guzzler.
Okay.
Yeah, when I drive, I roll down the window and go, caw-caw!
Can you make it to Can you make it to Expo Bowl in 12 parsecs from your hotel?
Not sure on that one.
Make the Expo run in 12 parsecs?
I do put my arm out the window, though, and flap. It does help me get here a little bit quicker and does save a little bit on gas.
Would it help if we got out and pushed? It might. Charles Bostic, he has a chance for 257 the last game. He's He was 19th going into today.
That'll make lunch taste a little better.
Yeah.
Charles Bostic, a really, really good, solid player over the past couple of years here at Junior Gold and Team USA trials as well, looking to earn his first spot on junior team. Currently bowls for Weber International.
Nice conversion there on the 3-9.
Another wonderful program you mentioned there.
You know, Mike, while we're getting toward the end of this block here, you're talking about eagles and soaring and you know, one of the great symbols of USBC and the Open Championships is, of course, the eagle. That's what the bowlers are heading out to that event each and every year to compete for. And on the youth side, there is an event very similar to the Open Championships, to the Women's Championships. That's, of course, is the Bowling.com Youth Open Championships, which is taking place. It starts today.
Oh, wow.
July 7th through the 9th, July 16th through the 18th, and July 24th and the 25th, taking place at All-Star Bowl here in Indianapolis. Is open to all USBC youth members. You can compete in doubles, singles, and four-player team competition and essentially post your score, see where it stacks up in your division. Multiple divisions. Once again, the highest division for that one, U18. Once again, taking place at All-Star Bowl. So that's something you can sign up for if you're making your way out to Junior Gold. If you're not here quite yet, something you can potentially put on your radar if you're going to be here and looking to bowl a little extra. July 7th through the 9th, July 16th through the 18th, and then July 24th and 25th after Junior Gold is all wrapped up. For folks who are a little bit closer to the area, one more weekend to check it out. The Bowling.com Youth Open Championships. You can head to bowl.com/Youth Open to find out more and register. Folks, as we once again we are just about done here with round 3 of qualifying in the U20 divisions. Just a couple of folks finishing up game 4 of this 4-game block. We will be back here on BowlTV.com at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time for the final round, the final 4 games, to determine who is making their way to the advancers round, both the boys and the girls division. So the first cut of the 2021 Junior Gold Championships taking place in just a couple of hours, but we will be back here once again with 4 channels and 16 lanes to choose from at each of the centers available. So you will not want to miss that. We'll be back. It'll be a bit of a break, though. We'll have a couple hours. These young athletes will have the opportunity to get a meal, rest up, get ready for this final 4-game block and a 4th oil pattern. So back on, what's today? Today's Wednesday. Happy Monday. But a half-day practice session, 40 minutes on each pattern. Players will be looking at their notes as they took, talking to their coaches and parents about what they need to do to continue their run here at the 2021 event. As we wrap up, though, we're having so much fun that I almost forgot.
No, you didn't.
I almost did.
No, I wasn't going to let that happen.
We still have a giveaway left to go, folks. So let's get that going here for you. Great part about being in the Bowl TV community is the giveaways. So we'll be giving away a Bowl TV T-shirt to one lucky viewer who's watching right now. You'll see a prompt in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen that says a giveaway will begin soon. Watch here to participate. It'll begin to count down for 60 seconds, and then in that very same spot, you'll see another message that says the giveaway has begun. You'll see a submit entry button right next to it. All you have to do is click that submit entry button, and you will be entered for a chance to win a Bowl TV T-shirt. You don't have to fill out any additional information. You don't have to answer a trivia question. You don't have to guess what Mike shot in his opening round of qualifying at the 1998 Junior Gold Championships either. All you have to do is click the button, and you'll have a chance to win. If you are watching in full screen mode, we do suggest you take it out of the full screen mode for just a minute here so you can see the chat and everything, and that prompt should pop right up on the screen for you. So let's get it going here. Best of luck to everybody, and thank you again for being part of the Bowl TV community.
I heard minus something, minus.
The giveaway has just begun for you. Bowling shoelaces and promises. The kiss of the rose ball, and we're on our way. We've only just begun.
See, we're talking about movies. The first thing I think of when I hear that, Michael, is Happy Gilmore. So,
oh yeah.
So that maybe a little bit more relatable than some of the other movie references we've been making today. But even that's it's potentially stretching a little bit.
Together.
Do you have a question in the chat? Which pattern are they on, short, long, or medium? Once again, we don't have the specific details available. Those will be posted after the conclusion of the event, but it seems from the get-go here, and this pattern has forced players both in the boys and the girls division a little bit farther to the inside portion of the lane. So yesterday we saw, a lot of players attacking the lanes from the outside portion. So that, gave it the look to be kind of the shorter, medium patterns yesterday. So
yeah, short, medium, and today should be long.
So this
but
one
that's our analysis. That's
correct,
not
yes.
That's not a factual statement. That's our analysis.
So that's what we've seen so far through 3 rounds. So once again, one more round to go. We're all said and done. As Charles saws the 5-pin out of there, making me proud.
Yeah, nice 235 game to finish.
And we got a winner. Dan P, 99, taking home a Bowl TV T-shirt. So
yeah, Dan.
Dan P, our marketing team will be reaching out to you in the next couple of days to find out your shirt size and get that prize mailed off to you. So congratulations once again, and a big thank you to everybody for watching here on Bowl TV, participating, and being part of the community. We certainly appreciate it, good folks. All right, that finished up that pair. Looks like at Expo Bowl, all of our channels are done. JT, you got anything left for us, or is this
No,
time
we're completely done here.
How about that? All right, since we're completely done on the lanes, let's bring it back to our respective studios here as we wrap up this block. Hey, there we are. Look at us. We've made it through 3 rounds here in the U20 division at the 2021 Junior Gold Championships, folks. So once we get those score updates, they should be upcoming pretty quick after this round. Be sure to head to bowl.com/juniorgold to find the results page and kind of see where your favorite athletes are looking at. The top 85 advance on the boys' side, the top 40 on the girls' side. Looking ahead to Thursday, but they still have 4 games left to go. But we've had it's been fun to watch these competitors. We've we've done our best to learn along the way as well and try and find out a little bit more about them. A lot of collegiate ties in this particular division with the U20 division, as to be expected. But it's been fun to watch through 3 rounds, and we're excited to come back at 11:30 a.m. Eastern to see the next round. Right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the players all felt like today was going to be the tough day, in terms of the patterns they were going to get to see. They've really been through the ringer the first 3. They've had 3 very different conditions to have to bowl on. And now we're going to get to see one more with, the cut at stake for these players with 4 more games left to go.
Yeah, it might squeeze a little bit going into this next one. There is a cut at stake, and every time there's a cut round, it's go time for everybody, and I'm sure it's going to come down to miss spare for some people, and there's going to be heartache and pain going out the door, and there's going to be a lot of folks that are going to feel fortunate that they're still in the tournament with the way they bowled. A guy like Cameron Crowe, who was solidified in the number really well, and a lot of people would be thrilled with the number that he had, but he wasn't satisfied, right? So it's going to be interesting to see, with 3 blocks under our belt, the last one to go before they can start thinking about, the cut and then the advancers round, and then, what all happens after that, all the good stuff. So, yeah, we're gonna see it coming up here this afternoon, and we'll buckle down a little bit too, because we got some drama here that's gonna start happening.
Did you see heartache and pain?
Heartache and pain.
In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. Can't stop now. I've traveled so far to change this lonely life.
Folks,
I
are
want to
right
know
side of
what
plus.
love is.
You can buy our debut LP on Amazon.com.
That's right. That's right.
And I want you to show me.
I know you can show me.
Rock of Ages. I saw that musical.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Heartache and Pain coming up next on Bowl TV.
I offer nothing to this band, but I can offer a big thanks to USBC and BPAA and their board of directors for their continued support of youth bowling. Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider here of the Junior Gold Championships. Brunswick, Motive, Rotogrip, and Storm are gold industry partners. Thank you to them for their continued support of the next generation of bowlers. The competitors this week, as always, for their time, their dedication, their effort to get ready and perform here at the Junior Gold Championships. Big thank you, of course, to the Bowl TV community. We love getting to spend some time with you here. Watch bowling, enjoy the sport, and continue on. So we'll see you at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So for Mike Flanagan of Inside Bowling, Jason Thomas, I'm Aaron Smith. We're signing off right now, but we'll see you in a couple of hours for round 4, the final round of qualifying U20 division here at the 2021 Junior Gold Championships. So, folks, have a great rest of your morning. We'll be back in a couple of hours. And remember, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. We'll see you soon.